All right, well, welcome to our Tuesday night class. If you guys are watching us live, thank you for joining us. If you're joining the recording, this was done back in May of 2024. As you can see on the screen tonight, we're going to be talking about hormones and detox and the essential things that we need to know how to keep our bodies functioning properly and getting the best results with our bodies. Now, if you would remember to keep yourselves muted. We are going to have a time at the end of class where we will answer questions. It looks like I might be the only leader on here tonight. So if you have a question, meanwhile, put it in the chat. And at the end of class, we'll go ahead and we'll answer those things. If you're watching the recording, go ahead and you can just comment below and tag one of the leaders or the person who invited you here tonight. And then they will be able to reach back to you and get your answer. We have classes here on Zoom Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Wednesday is a really fun one because it's not recorded and you can come and ask whatever questions you have, and we'll do our best to answer those things. I also just want to let you know that, you guys, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a nurse. All I am is an essential oil enthusiast who's been studying for a really long time. So the information that I'm going to share with you guys tonight is for information purposes only. I'm not here to diagnose or give you some kind of special recommendation. All I can share with you guys is what has either worked for myself or other people. Now, I've been in doTERRA for over 12 years, and I've been studying essential oils very intensely ever since I started. You guys have the opportunity to get a free gift. The way that works, it's a free recipe book where the top leaders put together nearly 300 recipes that you can use, and you can have them at your convenience. Now, the way that works is when you watch a class on a Monday or Tuesday, then you just text the word class plus the topic. So tonight you would text the word class and women and hormones, or hormones and detox, and you text it to the phone number 534-429-5392. Now, we have a way that when you text that, it automatically starts keeping track of the classes that you have attended. So then when you get to that eighth class, then we'll reach out to you and let you know that you have won your book. Now, you guys, I was supposed to be at work today, and we've been infested with crickets. So my husband's not letting me leave the house. It's pretty crazy. There are millions of them across, and it's pretty crazy. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and get started in our class. Once again, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to join us. Here is a list of our 8 different classes. We are on week number 4. So it's Women and Hormones, Detox and Cleanse. Next week, we'll be talking about healthy babies, kids, and pets. One of my favorite things about essential oils, especially doTERRA, which is the one that we are recommending in this class, is that you can use them on your entire family. And it's just a matter of how much do we use, whether they are babies or pets or an adult. Okay, so this is a great slide because a lot of us, like myself included, when I first started using essential oils, I had no idea of the toxins and the chemicals that I was being overexposed to in just regular household items. I didn't realize that the candles that I was burning, the things I was plugging into the wall, the other things that I was using to clean my house, or, dryer sheets and all kinds of different things, were actually causing a lot of problem and a lot of havoc on my body, especially hormones. And so, you guys, it's really important that we try to eliminate some of those things. And by being able to reduce toxic load helps our body to be able to function more properly. Now, there are over 84,000 known chemicals that are used in household items. Only 200 of them have been tested by the FDA. Now, if you're like me, I give very little credit to the FDA when it comes to whether they say it's safe or not, because there's a lot of things that get to us with approval, which are very, very harmful. The last time that the federal chemical safety law was updated was in 1976. So you can only imagine some of the things that we've had put into our households, things that have been passed through, that we have no idea what the effects are and how bad they can be for us. So this is really a great slide. And anytime you guys see a slide here, feel free to take a screenshot and save it if you want to be able to refer back to it. But this just shows us a lot of different things that our bodies can, the effects that are caused by some of the different chemicals and different things that we are around. So for instance, 232 toxic chemicals were found from umbilical cords from an unborn babies. I mean, that's pretty startling in itself, little alone, looking up to the fertility problems that are linked to different plastics, different things that are even some of those containers and products that are being added to our over-the-counter things that we use on a regular basis. Now, breathing issues is something that more and more people are dealing with on a regular basis. So everything from increased allergies. Do you guys know anyone who has had increase in their allergies and the way that their body shows up? Or how about breathing issues, whether it's when you get upset or maybe it's that you're, cleaning a bunch of different things. It's crazy how our bodies really do react to it. And so many people are experiencing way more symptoms and side effects from these issues. All right, you guys. So I love this screen also because let's see if I can change my screen real quick. Okay, because what are toxins? So toxins are found all over the place. So they are in our makeup, they are in some of our foods, they are definitely in, the vehicles and chemicals that are in our environment with cleaning in different places, perfumes, household cleaners. And, we were able to have Lauren Bush come and speak with us this last weekend at my house. And what's incredible is, she shared her testimony and her story about how she was a nurse and she actually worked in the department where they had tracheotomies and breathing issues. Well, she had a 3 or 4 year old daughter who was so severe with her breathing that the doctors told her, the next time you bring her here, we're going to put a trach in her, whether you want us to or not. And she just kind of stepped back and said, I know what that means. Like, I understand the complications and things. And she was a very small child. And she would be first to admit that she was the mom who would constantly search for the highest scented lotions and deodorants and shampoos and dryer sheets and laundry detergent, where if it would stay with their sheets longer, she would actually seek those things out. Little did she know that some of those chemicals that were in those products were actually causing the problem that her kids and her family were being faced with. And so as she got educated, the first person who talked to her about doTERRA, she's like, no, I'm fine. Like, I got this. I'm nurse. I'm trained. I know exactly what to do. But when it came down to a very serious situation, that was the first person she called was, I'd love to learn more about essential oils and how they can help us. And it wasn't long before she stepped out of the medical field and has stepped into being a educator for doTERRA. You guys, that's a pretty big deal in my opinion. And so we're super grateful that she was here with us. But what is the side effects? So many times people will say, oh my gosh, the smell, like candles and things, they instantly give me a headache. Or if you've ever walked through a department store and they've had all those perfumes and it does get to you. And a lot of that, you guys, is because you're working or you're smelling a lot of chemically altered synthetic fragrances. And the cause is, brain fog, infertility, mood swings, body pain. I mean, when I'm walking down the grocery store aisle and I get to all the cleaners, or heaven forbid, I'm in like the garden department where they have the fertilizers and things, my body actually hurts. I don't know if any of you guys have ever experienced anything like that, but it's pretty crazy. So our goal tonight is to help give you some solutions. Okay, I want to introduce to you our Cleanse and Restore. This is something that you can buy each of these products individually, or you can buy them as a kit. anytime you purchase a combination of products as a kit, or maybe it's like shampoo and conditioner, or you have, say a skincare product and it's a little grouping, you're going to save below wholesale on that pricing. Now, what I love here is they put together the top products that people need to help keep their body cleansed and functioning properly. If you have been, even if you're taking Lifelong Vitality, but it's been a while since you've done a cleanse to clean out your filter organs and your body, I would highly recommend you look into our cleanse. And we're going to go through it in just a second. Now, I want you to consider, why is this important? Well, if you have a car, which most of us probably do, and you just kept putting oil in the oil container for your car over and over and over, and you never actually took it in and cleansed and cleaned out and changed the filters or changed the spark plugs and all the different things, well, your body is the same way. So if you just continue to put things in, it gets all gunked up. And so the good oil that you would put in there is not something that your body would be able to utilize to get the best performance. So this is why we highly recommend people do our cleanse at about every quarter. Okay, so we're going to get to the foundation of our health and our support that we have to offer you guys. Now, this is our Lifelong Vitality. Sometimes you'll hear people refer to it as LLV. So it is a 3-part system. You can get them in a little packet where there's a half a dose in the packet and you can just grab them and go, and you can buy them individually. But again, when you buy the 3-pack together, you're saving below wholesale and you get it at a discounted price. Now you can see here that there's 3 different targeted areas. We have our XE Omega, which is just full of omega essential oil or fatty oils. And they are really great for your hair, your joints, everything for your heart health, your brain health, and also helps with endurance. Now, another thing that our omega has in it is it has 9 essential oils, which is different than any other vitamin on the market, because most essential oils are not recommended to take internally. Now, the alpha CRS is something that helps with cellular immune function. It helps with mental clarity, brain function. It helps us on a cellular level. And what I love about doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality is it is micro available. So it actually is something that your body it breaks down in your body in the area that it needs to, and your body can absorb it and get the most out of this foundational health. Now, you guys, we also have a ton of vitamins and minerals, and it has micronutrients. And so there's a bunch of whole foods that are also in here. Okay, here is a suggested 30-day cleansing schedule. Now you'll see that it starts the same every single day. And then after the first 10 days, then you add in GX Assist. Now, GX Assist is a capsule that helps to target your lower GI and your intestinal tract. It has tough oils like oregano and thyme, some of those ones that are really effective in getting deeper, and they work very effectively on our bodies. Sometimes when I have something and it just won't go away, I reach for this in addition to our On Guard Plus. Now, after day 20, then you stop taking the GX, and this is when we put the PBS Restore, and we add in DDR Prime. Now, each one of these, Zendocrine, this one is on all of this cleanse, it is the capsule. So we have a gel cap and we have a capsule. One of them is the essential oil, and the other one helps to support our body more like a supplement, as like nutrition. The Terrazyme is really important here because it helps to break up our food, so our body can actually, with the natural enzymes, so our body can actually absorb it and get the nutritional value from our food. And then DDR Prime, you guys, DDR Prime comes in an oil, and it also comes in a gel cap. Now, I prefer the gel cap, and I take one of these every single morning, and I take one of these every single night, whether I'm doing the cleanse or not, because it helps to give me brain food. I love the mind clarity that I've been able to receive from it. And then, of course, PB Restore is the good pro, pre, and postbiotics that help to support our bodies. Now, each one of these, you guys, you can do a deeper dive. If you go into Good Vibes, you can search each product and we have tons of information that you can look up. You can also go to your doTERRA website and put in a product, and it's going to break those things down. Now, you heard me mention that the one in our detox cleanse is the Zendocrine complex, which is shown here on the right-hand side. What I love about this is it helps to support all of our filter organs. So our liver, our kidney, our lungs, our skin. If people are having breakouts, or maybe they've got something like, a cough and they just can't get rid of it, and that helps, that is, something that happens in our lungs. Or if they are, having a lot of things that might affect their kidneys or liver, I always recommend people add this into their regular routine and their regular supplements. Now, it is, like I said, this one is has more herbs and things, so it's more to support them and strengthen. Where the Zendocrine Detoxification Blend, on the bottom left-hand side, you'll see that there's an essential oil bottle. There are 250 drops of this oil, or you can also get the same amount of oil in your 60 soft gels capsules. So before they had the capsules, when this oil first came out, it was like, gosh, I need to really detox and cleanse my body on a regular basis, because I was that person who was suffering from severe allergies that were debilitating me and keeping me at home. So I actually did this cleanse that we're talking about. I did it for 30 days, then I took 5 days off and I started it again. And I did that 3 times in a row, which helped my body really get deeper and deeper and deeper, and being able to release all the things that have been gunking it up, like I was telling you about the oil filter, right, in the car. So this one is essential oils, and they are meant to help release and clean and get rid of all of that gunk. All right, so this one is the GX. So you notice that we only took this for 10 days during the middle of our cleanse. Now, on the left-hand side, it tells you which essential oils are in this. You'll also notice when you open up the bottle that this capsule is a little harder. So, for instance, the Zendocrine gel cap, I could probably bust open with my fingers and it's soft. This one is meant to be harder, and doTERRA spent a lot of time and science and money to make sure that this capsule opens in your body where it's supposed to. So like I said, in your lower GI for a deeper cleanse. Now we've got oregano, which is antibacterial, antifungal. It is known as a natural antibiotic. I use oregano all the time. Oh, not all the time, but I use it very specifically. Melaleuca or tea tree, which is also, it's antibacterial, antiviral abilities. So tea tree is something that is super gentle, and we use it for anything skin related. Now you've got lemon, lemongrass, peppermint, thyme. Now here's another big powerhouse. I love that you get oregano and thyme in this oil blend, because you got 2 of the biggest hitters when it comes to getting rid of and cleaning things up. And then a caprylic acid, which is a fatty acid that's naturally found in things like coconut milk, breast milk, and other sources. This is a really great capsule, and you can see here, you can use 1 to 3 in a day. I don't ever recommend people taking 3 of them at a time. This is something that I would start with 1 and work your way up to using 3. And if you have more questions about this, make sure you reach out to the person who invited you here, so that we're getting it used right for the best benefit. Okay, so we're cleansing, right? So as women and men, we get around all of those chemicals and all of those things like perfumes and dyes and deodorants and all the things that we need to really be able to release and get rid of so that our hormones can function more properly. Now, doTERRA has a wonderful collection that they put together. It's a 3-part set. And again, if you were to purchase these, I think it's the women's collection, or maybe it's called monthly hormone, I don't know. if you buy it all together, you will save additionally off the wholesale price. And they work really well together. So depending on your age, we have different times when we might want to use these. We're finding that younger and younger girls and boys may call for phytoestrogen, and we'll get into that in a second. Clary Calm, you guys, when I first started using doTERRA, I used to call this the bitch stick, because it's like, doesn't matter if you are emotional, you have mood swings, you feel up, you feel down, you're a little cranky. This essential oil you can wear like perfume. You simply take it and you roll it on your wrists. You can rub your wrists together, around your ankles and on the inside of your elbow right here. And it really helps to support all of those different things. Now, the bone nutrients is just packed full of nutrition. It's way more than calcium. And we'll talk about that in just a second also. Whoops. Okay, so phytoestrogen, you guys, is natural and it's a gentle hormone balancer. Now, it is a blend of plant phytoestrogens. It is not bad for you. So many people will say, oh, I can't have estrogen. You guys, this is a plant-based product that is really, really good. Now, because of all of the things that are put in our food today, I'm just going to throw out there that we've had little girls as young as 10 or 11 scan for this product. And now we also have men who are also needing it. So we're not limited to just one, men or women. It's something that both can use. This is really awesome. You can use it for menopause, premenopause, estrogen dominance and deficiencies, hormone imbalances, mood swings, night sweats. So I just had a gal call me this week and she said, Hayley, I know I could have Googled this. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, please don't Google it. And she goes, but I knew you'd be able to help me right away. She goes, I'm getting hot flashes. I don't know. I'm way too young, but I'm pretty sure that this is what's happening. And so I just explained to her the same thing that I went through is when I started feeling them come on, I'm at first I would just take one as I would experience that. And then it got to be where they were more constant. So I would use one in the morning and then I would use one before I went to bed at night. Now, you guys, I'm down to just taking one a day again, but it's been like 3 or 4 years, and I can definitely tell, like I just breezed right through all of the hot flashes and things like that, where other people in my family have had really, really bad experiences. So again, this is something that you can look into if you know somebody who is experiencing some of these things. Now, the bone nutrients, you guys, I want you to go to the bottom of this slide where it says vitamin C, D2, D3. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and read them all off because you guys can read them for yourselves, but we need to have this kind of a nutrients and a supplement because our bodies are deficient in so many of these different things. I love that doTERRA put the combination of the zinc, the copper, the manganese, the boron, all of those things together so that they would synergistically work together so that our bodies could also absorb them. If you know anyone who has a tendency to have weaker bones, maybe they trip and fall and they break something easy, or maybe they have broken something and they need to recover. This is when you're really going to want to make sure that you are taking enough of this. Now, I take the bone nutrients before I go to bed at night. It definitely helps me sleep better, and I do take 3 or 4 of them, especially if I'm, having a hard time sleeping or something like that. But I find that my body will absorb it better, and I get the best benefit from it at night. Okay, here's that Clary Calm blend that I was telling you guys about. And again, this is one that helps us just to be normal. I have a friend who was experiencing really bad periods, and about 3 days before and all the way through, she would just be cramping and she would have horrible migraines, really bad headaches, to the point where she would be curled up in a ball, for a couple of days every month. And she started using this every single day as perfume. Not only did she fall in love with the smell of it, but this is something that the more she used it, the less symptoms that her body had. And over time, some of those symptoms went away completely. You can see here it's got lavender, bergamot, Roman chamomile, cedarwood, ylang ylang, geranium, fennel. Now, fennel, a fun fact of this is when you have those stomach cramps, from your period, this is something that will help. It's antispasmodic, and so it will help to relieve that contraction, that pulsing, and you just rub it right over your lower abdomen. There's so many things, and I love that doTERRA has been so mindful in putting blends together that it's a one reach. Like, can you imagine having to go to your drawer or your essential oil bag every time you had a symptom of something, and they've made it super easy for us. Now, on the right-hand side at the top, there is a thyroid support blend. What I love about this, you guys, is this blend is something that will help to balance. So a lot of times people will say, I know, but mine is overactive. And some will say, oh, mine's underactive. You guys, depending on how active you are, whether you have, say you have a job where you're sitting at a desk all day, and then all of a sudden you have a job that changes where you're super active and you're walking a lot more or being more physical, that can change your hormones and your thyroid. And so your thyroid right here on your throat, this is your message center. So when our body experiences something, it sends the message to our brain, and then it comes back to our thyroid and tells our body how to react. You guys, it's also something that can change often. And so a lot of times when people will get a over-the-counter or prescription for something, within about 6 months, they're back at the doctor going, well, it's not working anymore. Well, you guys, this is because your body recognizes that it gets used to it, and it basically will put its guard up against it. So they're constantly having to change medications. Our goal here, you guys, is we have people who've used this blend, and the longer and the more they use it, the less that they've had to have a prescription. And so isn't that cool, right? And we've had a lot of people that have been completely, with their doctor's guidance, have been able to get off of their medication completely. So just in case you can't see the recipe, you take a 10 ml roller bottle, you put 8 drops of lavender, 5 drops of lemongrass, 5 drops of frankincense, myrrh, and clove. And then you top that bottle off with fractionated coconut oil, and then you would just be able to apply it right over your throat, right here. Oh, you know what? I gotta go. Hang on just a second. I'll be right back. Sorry, you guys, I just noticed my back door is open and we were infested with crickets, and I had to go shut the door, and I had to scoot a couple of them out. But anyway, so here we are, living life and teaching class. Okay, so you guys, those are hormone things that can help. And we'll open up some questions in just a few minutes where we can answer your questions specifically. Now, also with detoxing and cleansing and getting our bodies to where it will work the very best, we have MetaPower. If you'll tell us in the chat, do you use MetaPower? And if so, which is your favorite product and why? So you guys, here we've got the oil. Now in the oil, which means it's the 15 ml, the little beadlets, the soft gels, and then there's also there's 1 drop of the MetaPower blend in every piece of gum. You're getting grapefruit, which is extremely effective for helping your metabolism. It helps to curb your appetite. Better so, it helps to detox and cleanse. And so it keeps those cells nice and clean so that they can absorb and pass things through. Lemon is really great, again, for cleansing and helping support our body. Peppermint is great because it helps not only with your digestive system, but it also helps us to feel satisfied in our hunger and our cravings. Ginger is really great in warming things up and helping our metabolism in our stomach. And then you have cinnamon bark, which helps with blood sugar levels, and it boosts our immunity. So on the right-hand side, you can see some of the different reasons and why people use them. Now, lemon, here we go. How many of you guys are adding a citrus oil to your water every day? So you should drink a ton of water, and we have recharge from our MetaPower system. But keeping that citrus oil in, like I was talking about in the beginning, helps to keep our cells clean and our receptor sites clean so we can actually absorb them. And think of just having that citrus and keeping things sparking and keeping things going, right? We want to get the best that we possibly can from our essential oils. Now, I also put on here one of our favorite blends. So frankincense, pink pepper, and grapefruit. You just put a drop of each of these in the palm of your hand. You can add it to an unscented lotion or some coconut oil, and then you're going to want to put it on your lymphatic system. Now, it says breast detox, so you can literally, after you get out of the shower, take them, put it in your hands, and just rub it around your breasts, under your armpits. And this is really going to keep those cells clean and happy and detoxed, which is amazing. Okay, so here we have some helpful tips and things to consider. So we want to keep our hormones happy and keep them on track. And so here is the Zendocrine. You could do 8 drops and you just apply it right over your liver. 1 or 2 capsules every night before you go to bed. And those are really great and big players, believe it or not, in balancing your hormones. Now, fennel is shown here, and I talked a little tiny bit about it as its ability to, as a antispasmodic oil, but it also is something that you can put in your belly button. So I love dropping oils in my belly button. Sometimes I'll do that often. I can either put it in my mouth, but if I want it straight to go into my gut, I either put it on topically or I'll drop a couple drops in my belly button. This one helps to support healthy estrogen levels. Your clary calm. Now, grapefruit and thyme is also really good for supporting progesterone levels. You would take 2 drops of each of them and apply it around your ankles. Now, if you are curious why I keep saying ankles, wrists, or inside your elbows on the inside of your arm, is because those are the reflex points for your hormones, all of your female organs. One thing that is really important with everything that we do when we're on a health journey is to be consistent with your routine. You can't use these products or do it one time and expect to get really great results. The more faithful you are to using them, the better results you're going to get. Now, the detox cleanse is something, like I mentioned, you guys, every quarter is kind of go in just like you would take your car in and get an oil change, oil filter and spark plugs, right? Is you want to be able to really do that. And if you are experiencing something that is a regular issue, like say you have, like for me, my debilitating allergies, the reason that I did this cleanse 3 times in a row was because I wanted to get deeper and deeper and deeper. Think of peeling an onion. It's like each time you do it, you're peeling it back. Well, if you're only doing it once a year, think of the things that could be building up on top of it again. And it's kind of like, oh, I've got to start, digging a ditch. I'm going to have to, if some stuff, dirt goes back in over a year, got to start digging it out again. And so if you have a pretty healthy diet and you eat pretty healthy, then maybe, twice a year. It's this, what I love about this, you guys, is you can decide for yourself. Every body is different. And therefore, sometimes some of the recommendations you're going, I just don't need it as much, or something different. You guys drink more water. Drink more water and help your body flush out some of the stuff that we get. It's nearly impossible these days to eat food that hasn't been treated with something somewhere. And so we can go through our homes. One of my goals when I first got into doTERRA was little by little, I made a list, you guys. It was like, okay, first I'm going to start here, but then room by room and project by project. So like in my kitchen, in my laundry room, I started to replace by shopping at my own doTERRA store and making my own products. I was able to get rid of, perfumes. I was able to get rid of over-the-counter scented lotions and body sprays and things like that, to where now I make my own and I feel so much better. And so this is also something that as we cleanse our bodies, we're going to not only have more energy, but we're going to want to get up and do things, which will hopefully help us sleep better because we're getting more physical and more activity. The best thing also, you guys, is to be able to eliminate some of the stress. Yeah, well, I've got a stressful situation going on, and it's like, instead of getting angry, I decided to embrace it. And so I started making cricket videos. It's pretty crazy, you guys. And then lastly is get outside. So even if it's like just, in the morning, that morning sunshine gives us that wonderful natural vitamin D that we all need so much, is just getting like 10 or 15 minutes, go sit in a sunny window if you can't get outside, but walk around, get some fresh air. And you'll be amazed at how just 5 or 10 minutes can reset everything about what you're experiencing. Now, we can't get through this class without teaching you guys my favorite way to buy our products. So if you're new here, you have two ways you can purchase. You can purchase with a standard one-time order, or you'll also be asked if you want to do a LRP, which is loyalty rewards order. Now, what that means is with loyalty rewards, which is the only way that I shop, is because I can earn free shipping. I can earn up to 30% back in points every single month with every dollar that I spend. You guys, that's free stuff. And so I'm all about saving money, getting it at the best discount. If I can save and get free shipping, and if I can get free products back for when I buy things, I'm going to do it. You can earn points. You can also at 100, you're eligible to earn commissions. So many times people say, oh, I don't want to do this as a business, but naturally, how many of you guys have found a product that you love and you've told at least one person about it? I was that hard no that was like, I am not doing this as a business. I have too many other things going on. And here I am. This is my preferred business because I love being able to change people's lives. All right, so here we go, you guys. You want to get your oils paid for? I just had somebody this week say to me, I would love to get my oils for free. Like I know that my husband is going to throw a fit when he sees how much I want, and I have a long list of things after coming to a class that I want to get. So how can I get them even cheaper? Well, you guys, it's actually pretty easy. doTERRA has a free membership. And when you refer people, every single one of you guys that have an account have a link where when you log into your office, it'll say refer a friend. And you can just use that link. And if you have something that you love, that you're passionate about, then you're sharing that link with your friends and family. Then you would be able to get reward points or dollars back for it, which I think is really crazy and it's awesome. And I think that if you're like me, the more I learn and the more I know, the more I want to share. And you don't have to do all the classes and do all the things because we as a Good Vibes tribe put a lot of that stuff together. However, we are inviting people to come and teach with us all the time. Okay, we do have something special that's only good for 10 more days. And so with it, a new enrollment. So how many of you guys hate those plug in the wall things? I always tell people it's like, that is where those chemicals and all that toxins and stuff comes from. And now that we have, and it's only available for people with a new enrollment, but we have two kit options where you get a mist diffuser, which is the one you attach a bottle of oil to the top of it, you plug it into the wall, you can have it go off automatically every so often, or it's motion censored. They have two different kits. They have one that is more citrusy and uplifting and more summer. And the second one is more calming and lavender, eucalyptus, and my favorite, Shinrin Yoku. Those are really great. Like I said, if you know somebody who is interested, show them these kits. Now there's bonuses. So with Silver Club, and Sarah's here tonight, so she'll be able to help you out and teach you. You can get all these additional things, free gifts with a purchase. And I love doTERRA, just continues to give and give and give. Reach out to us, or you can also message Sarah on social media, or whoever invited you, we can hook you up. You guys, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight and continuing to show up. I love being able to be here and educate you guys, because if you don't know what to do with what you have, why in the world would you have it? And we don't want you to have things and not know how to use them to get the best results. If you want to be connected to us and get those text reminders, we send a reminder out every Monday and Tuesday about 15 to 30 minutes before class starts. But on Wednesday, we actually send you the recording links from that week's classes. So if you text the word, and it's one word, this is class reminders with an S, to 534-429-5392, you'll automatically get those texts. Now, you can also, find us and we have access to all the recordings. We'll be posting up our classes as soon as they're done up into Good Vibes. So if you heard something tonight and you're really excited and you said, oh, I want to learn more about this, or I have a friend who needs to know more about that, reach out to the person who invited you and ask them for the recording. On the left hand, you see that the QR code. The QR code is something that you can just, have your camera focus on it. What's great about this is it gives you links to everything that we do, all of our different social media. We have so many things that we can support you with. So before I stop my screen share, I want to invite you also to next week. It's class number 5, and it'll be healthy babies and kids and pets. So if you have a grandma or somebody who loves their pets just like they love their kids, or you have somebody who works at a daycare center or, is getting ready to have a baby, please invite them to our class. You don't need to have an account to catch our classes live. And then we also could get you the recording just in case you couldn't make it, because we know you guys are busy. You're busy, we're busy, but it is really important for us to educate you guys and share with you guys. All right, so I'm going to stop the screen share. Hi, everybody. And I was not able to watch the chat. Let's see. Sarah, were there any questions? Did you see any questions?
Yep, there was one. Jules did answer it, but I just am curious on what your thoughts are. Is there a max amount of detoxes that can be done per year?
So I'm going to actually say yes. And why I'm going to say yes is because as we are using different products, and especially a cleanse, some people will take it overboard and cleanse too much, too quick, too fast. When I first started with essential oils, I had a gal who was using that GX pill, and she was taking like 3 of them 3 times a day. And she was doing that almost nonstop. You guys, she had a really bad reaction, and her body started to detox way faster than it needed to. And it was something that we got corporate involved in, and we contacted people to help her. So one thing I love about doTERRA's cleanse is it's meant to be gentle. So their belief is that, and sometimes people say, well, I can't do the cleanse because I'm going to be on vacation, or I can't do the cleanse because I am not going to be off work or whatever. And you're not going to have that experience with our cleanse. And the reason is because our bodies get stressed out enough already with all the things that we're around, or that we have around it, and the things we're using. And so it's meant to cleanse and give yourself a little bit of a break, cleanse some more, and it's supposed to be gentle. With that being said, I think you could probably, and I didn't see what Jill said, I'd love for her to weigh in on this, but I'm saying you could, I think that even if I were really going through something, I probably wouldn't cleanse but once every month or 2. And part of the reason that I did that 3 in a row is because I was targeting something that needed a lot of attention, and it needed a deeper cleanse. I don't know what she said.
You're talking about Jules?
Anybody? Yeah.
Yeah, so she had an amazing response. My rule of thumb for cleansing is a spring cleanse and another in the fall. Sometimes I'll add one in January simply because I tend to feel like I need to give my body some added cleaning support after the holidays festivities.
Yeah, you guys, especially when you're eating a lot, when you're not eating the right things, because during the holidays, we tend to, load up on the sugar a little bit more, or the goodies and the desserts and things. And so after that season, and we usually do a team cleanse the first part of January for that reason. But I really I don't think you need to do them more than like 3 or 4 times, quarterly, every 3 months or so. Okay. Is there any other questions?
There was another one. Is phytoestrogen helpful for postmenopausal women? Which was answered yes, but what more could you tell them on that?
So I've continued to use it. I don't know where I'm at in my whole life cycle, but I've continued to use it just because I feel so much better when I use it. Like I'm not moody. Well, I am kind of, but not really. It's not like so yes. And so what I've told people when they are using it is there comes a time when you get to listen to your body. And so if you're using a product, because I was using phytoestrogen for a long time, and then all of a sudden I'm thinking, gosh, do I even need this anymore? And so I backed way off. I completely stopped using it. And for about 2 or 3 months, I was just fine. And then I noticed that my body started heating up again. So I brought on so I started using one a day. And I've just continued to do that. And now, yeah, that's kind of, um,
Can I hop on with the phytoestrogen testimonial real quick?
sure.
So to me, it kind of helps answer the question also. I just a couple of days ago had a gal who has had a complete hysterectomy for a while and some other medical things going on. And before that, they had told her she had went through menopause already. Well, she has seen a couple of specialists, and the doctors here are telling, or wherever she's going, are telling her that any kind of the phytoestrogen, because of the blockers, due to what food, all the toxicity that's being put into her body, that it's still super beneficial. So they told her to not stop taking it. So I just kind of feel like you said, Hayley, you could just take it continuously because we are being exposed to so many things that it is beneficial for.
Awesome. Thank you, Tammy, for adding that. Sarah?
100%. I'm going to tap in with Tammy. So I'm a younger postmenopausal, but that's exactly what mine said. She's in Denver, and I brought in the phytoestrogen, and she said 100%. She said, do what you have to do. So I was taking one in the morning and two at night, and now I'm just taking two at night. But she said, don't stop, because what it's doing is it's actually keeping my levels at a healthy level because I'm not going to produce those hormones accurately anymore. So yes.
Okay, awesome. And I think you guys, one thing that we always like, the disclaimer I said at the very beginning is, we're not doctors, we're not nurses. Well, some of you guys are, and we do have those people here, but is that we get to listen to our body and we get to research and we get to ask, and a lot of times, especially with thyroid blends or medication, is we would never say, hey, go off of it, go on it, start it, always get your doctor's recommendation or approval. And with that being said, a lot of the medical industry doesn't know about doTERRA. So they're not educated in that we're not using grocery store or gas station essential oils. We're using something that is way different. And we do have doctors. We have some of the best science and research and medical advisory boards that are around. And so ours is different. And so, yes, just know that. Okay, Jules?
Hey, everybody. So yeah, I'm going to weigh in here too on the question about menopause, postmenopausal support by the phytoestrogens. Basically, what I find really supportive about them is that most of us tend to have, well, we all do, because we just live in the world that we live in. We have those toxins that are around us in our homes, the off-gassing of carpets, furniture, that kind of thing. No matter how clean we are as far as the products that we're bringing into our home, we are still exposed to things in the world, toxins in the world that mess with our hormones by creating these little xenoestrogens, basically. Hayley just did a great post. I think it was today that I saw it in Facebook, in the Good Vibes. It was about phytoestrogens and about xenoestrogens. And what the xenoestrogens do, they block the receptors so that our body can't do what it is designed to do, because these xenoestrogens that are from the toxins, they're blocking the receptor sites. So when we take the phytoestrogen, it helps to get rid of those xenoestrogens, break those down and get them out of our body. For lack of a better way of saying it, that's kind of what's happening with them. And so it can be really beneficial for perimenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal women. So I just wanted to throw that in.
So Jules, we have a gal who has a question, and first it was when we talk about supporting healthy estrogen levels, does that mean oils help correct and raise your estrogen? That's the first part. And then the second part is I am in an uncommon situation where I have just finished breast cancer treatment and my oncology team wants my estrogen levels to be at 0. I have just undergone a partial hysterectomy, but now they want me to start a hormone blocker that makes me really sick and take it for the next 5 years. So I'm trying to find alternatives to bring to my oncology team.
Okay. I am going to say, give me some time to research that. And I know that I have some information that can be really helpful. So I don't know who asked that, but I'm going to throw my phone number in here. Are we still recording, Hayley?
We are. I can turn it off if you want.
I'll just throw it in the chat. I'll
Okay,
just
yeah,
throw it in the chat.
Throw it in the chat. And then also you guys know that you can always find everybody in Good Vibes through Messenger.
Yes. So the only reason I don't want to just jump in and really start saying, oh, do this, do this, do this, or take this to them, take that to them. I just want to do a little bit of research instead of just coming off the top of my head, because the question that you're asking is very, very targeted, and you've come through something pretty serious. So I don't want to give you information that is just sort of off the cuff. So I'm going to drop my phone number in the chat. Feel free to text me, let me know who you are, and then I will get back to you after I've done a little bit of digging, and that way I'll be able to give you something that's a little more targeted and a little more knowledgeable and less off the cuff that you can take to hopefully get those answers for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll put my name in here since I'm under my husband at the minute, so looks a little weird. Thank you.
You bet. No problem.
And I just want to also add to this that we have really walked along the side of a lot of people who've had a lot of similar type things. And you know, what I love most about what we have is we have products that are different than other things that are on the market. And so one of the first things that comes up is I'm not supposed to have estrogen. And yet our phytoestrogen is it's a plant-based product. And we have a lot of science that we can find directly to. We just this weekend in a training, one of the gal I was telling you about, Lauren, and shared her testimonial, is she works directly with our doctors in science, but she gave us links where you can go to. Jill, do you remember those links? Or Sarah, did you write those down, the science link? It's like doTERRA.com /science or something, right?
Yep.
Where
I think that's what it is. And then if and as you scroll down that page, you'll see other links to other things, but there is definitely the science link there. And there's also a link for, like, if once you take the information to your docs, your treating docs, there's a link that they can actually log into. As long as they have an active medical license, they can log into a training call once a week with some of the doctors and scientists from doTERRA. So there's ways that you can pull on that string to get the answers that you need.
Mm-hmm. So really, I think the best part is that we're not just going to throw a bunch of information and quick things to you. We're going to find out the research and the things that go behind it. And then also when you go into Good Vibes, you can do searches. And because so much of the stuff is non-compliant, a lot of times, and that just means we're not making claims, right? Because never have I ever said that we're going to cure cancer. And I never would. You're never going to hear me say that. But yet we have a lot of different products that can support your body in different ways. And so even if it's not the end all be all, what if it helps with some of it? And I saw in here, we also had Missy mention Hashimoto's. I actually have a friend, her name is Nisha Riggs, who's getting ready to do an ebook release on how she was able to get away from it. And her body no longer experiences it. And you can look those things up in Good Vibes. We want to make sure you have as much information as you possibly need in order to go forward with your journey in doTERRA. But I know, and I'm going to just, the last thing I'm going to say about it is consistency is key. And sometimes our bodies will have different reactions at the beginning because it's going, wait, what are you doing? You know, I've helped people with protocols before when they've been dealing with something a little bit serious, and they might have like a rash, or they might have, you know, different things happen. And it's because your body needs to detox and release and let go of some of the things that we are pulling out now. And again, you know, when you've been being treated with a lot of different things, your body's probably not really happy. You know, and so we're grateful. We're grateful you're here, and we're grateful for this company that has such amazing products. Okay, is there anything else that anybody would like to share, or any questions?
I do have one more thing I want to add, Hayley. Somewhere somebody was asking about what you can do for hot flashes, that kind of thing. And I actually have a recipe, if I can find it right here, that I got from my functional med doc for my hot flashes and night sweats, that kind of thing. So I'm looking for it here. I thought I had it, but I don't. So you got to give me just a minute. So you can go on and I'll jump back in as soon as I find it.
Okay, so really quick, I'm going to ask Sarah, I'm going to put her on the spot. I'm going to ask her to share her passion and why she's chosen to sell and educate for doTERRA.
Oh, I should have seen this one coming, huh? So my name is Sarah Collins. I'm in Casper, Wyoming. For those of you that don't know me, I am a survivor of ulcerative colitis, and I've had a full hysterectomy. I've had 10 organs removed, and I'm still here today because of the supplements. And my dream, my why is I want to be a catalyst to help others reclaim their health through digestive issues such as Crohn's and colitis. And the reason is because I don't want anyone to experience, and I'm going to try to keep it together right now because I get super emotional, which is why that's a good thing if it makes you emotional. I don't want anyone to experience what I experienced and have their sons watch them almost die 22 times in the ER. So I am here to help anyone and everyone with digestive issues because it's a big deal and it's not fun to live with. And I am here to help you find natural solutions for that.
So Sarah, with that being said, you've had a lot of different things. The first oil that you used was what? That you really fell in love?
Digestin. My son actually used it before I did. He had colic. Probably shouldn't say that word. And he was 7.5 months old, and they kept telling me he would grow out of it, and that's a big fat lie. And I was given a sample of Digestin and was told to put it on his foot with the reflexology where his colon is, which is ironic because I didn't know I was sick at the time, and his belly clockwise because that's the way our colon moves, and inside of his belly button. And that was the first night he slept in 7.5 months. They even put a sleep monitor on him, and in 24 hours, he was sleeping an average of 3 hours in 24-hour periods. And so it was extreme bellyache for a baby. And my husband looked at me and said, whatever that witchcraft is, you need to go buy it. And so I went and got my first kit, you guys, and then the rest is history.
So what was the first oil that you personally used that you wouldn't go without?
Frankincense. When in doubt, get your frankincense out. And it's not a joke. It really isn't a joke, you guys. It actually repairs cells. And it repairs things. It finds what is damaged. It is the craziest thing. If it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me. That is true. Because if it can find damage within your body and repair it, that's one heck of an oil. It's pretty smart.
So awesome. Good stuff. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think that as we are leaders, we are teaching and sharing things, it's good to hear from and hear why some of us are here and what brought us here. Jules, did you happen to find your recipe?
I did not. I'm still looking, so I will put that in underneath the recording. I thought I could go right to it, but I can't. So I'll put it in underneath the recording once it's posted.
Perfect. That's awesome. Is there anything else anyone would like to add?
Yeah, I do. You're not alone. I really want to highlight that because I've had many conversations today and with people that have been on our team for a while. You guys are not alone. Utilize Good Vibes. Get a hold of us. Just because we are not specifically your upline or specifically who brought you here, it's okay. Reach out to us. Tag us in Good Vibes. Find us on our social media pages. You know, I know many of us have Instagram and a business account as well. Come find us, you guys. You're not alone in this journey. Don't let anything collect dust. It's not worth it. You guys have gold in your hands right in front of you. So let us teach you how to use them.
Awesome. Everybody, thank you so much for taking the time out tonight to join us. Remember, we do these classes every Monday, Tuesday, and tomorrow night. There will be a special class where you can sit around a table, ask your questions. It's not being recorded. A lot of times people will come and they're like, well, I've been kind of curious about this. And Tammy does a great job of teaching that. So thank you. And we will see you next time, everybody. Bye.